Well, good afternoon, or well, good morning, I should say. It's just 11 o'clock. Good morning. This is Kent Blaylock with SDG Replays, and I'm coming to you live from Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia from April 10th, 1979, as we do the 1979 replay of the season. I will be featuring
Coming to you live.
I am live. Fantastic. We'll make sure I was up and running there. And hey, we are doing a replay of the 1979 season featuring the Pittsburgh Pirates, who went on in that season to win the World Series in exciting fashion in a 7-game series. Today we are at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia into this short season. The Pirates so far in the season are 2-1. They're going into the Veterans Stadium. Philadelphia is sitting at 2-0. Kind of excited to see this matchup of these two great teams. So let's take a look at our matchup for today in Philadelphia. We see our starting pitchers for the visiting Pirates. It's going to be John Candelaria coming to the mound against Dick Ruthven. Starting off for the visiting Pirates in this order: batting first at shortstop, Frank Taveras; batting second at center field, Omar Marino; batting third in right field is Dave Parker; Willie Stargell batting cleanup at first base; in left field, batting fifth, Bill Robinson; at second base, Rennie Stennett; your catcher for today's game, Ed Ott; then Phil Garner, your third baseman, batting in the 8th spot; and John Candelaria. Since we are in the National League, we will have the pitchers coming up to the plate. So that's our starting lineup for the Pirates. For Philadelphia, I will give them as they come up. Hello, Red Sox fan. Yeah, everything is well here in North Carolina. It's a little chilly, but I'm sure it's cooler up there in your area. But we're going to get into this game. This game, I've already played one game this morning using PC Replay Baseball. For this game, it's going to be Payoff Pitch. I'm recreating the season, the 1979 season for the Pirates. So we will be playing their third game, well, actually fourth game of the season against Philadelphia at Veterans Stadium from Tuesday, April 10th, 1979. So let's get into our game.
Live from Philadelphia, top of the first.
I got to check my view. And bring up the dice roller. And there it is. And let's put my pretty face on the screen. And we're ready to go. Leading off for the Pirates will be Frank Taveras. Playing shortstop. Batted .296 against righties for the season. Ruthven on the season was 7-5 with a 4.27 ERA. Yes, it is the We Are Family Pirates. That's one of the reasons I picked the Pirates. This was back in '79. I was, I guess at this time in April, I would be a 13-year-old. I really caught into the We Are Family Pirates, especially with Pop Stargell. I believe Stargell was in the twilight of his career. I believe he was 39 years old in '79. And I really bought into that team and really enjoyed watching them play. So That's why we're recreating this season. And Taveras steps to the plate. Ruffin delivers. It's going to be a tough 39. And Frank Taveras takes the pitch, and he gets bat on ball. It's a long single into the gap in center field. So it is a leadoff single for Taveras as he is on. And he will be attempting to steal. Let me get my steal chart out. He is a run of 8, and he's a steal of 6. So I'm going to send him. He's a C stealer. What is my catcher's arm? Boone's arm is a 2, C2. I may be rethinking that. That's a fair chance of stealing. I think I will keep Taveras on first then. Boone's arm's pretty good at 2, so we won't risk that as Omar Moreno comes to the plate. Moreno on the season batted .279 against righties with 6 home runs. Ruthven delivers. Again, it's a tough 66. That's a ground ball to short. Will there be a double play? Yeah, there will not be, as it's just a 6-3 put out. That will move Taveras over to second as Dave Parker comes to the plate. Parker on the season batted .317 with 12 home runs against righties. He had 25 home runs total for the year. So he is dangerous. Dangerous Dave Parker steps to the plate. Again, it is a roll of 9, a tough 49. And that will be a single by Dave Parker. It's a line drive into left field. The runner on second will only get 1 base. So with 1 out, we have runners on second and third, as I had to try to figure out how to do that in detail. It's one of the things I am still working through is the figuring out how to score things on score sheet here with PC Replay. That'll bring Pop Stargell to the plate with 2 on, second and third Parker and Taveras on. He batted .293 with 23 home runs against righties and 32 home runs total. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be a defensive check, and it's going to be an 0-5. That will be an error, being that low. And it's going to be a range check on the center fielder. And I don't even need to look because 1 to 24 is the lowest, and it being a 5 on the die, he is not going to get there. So the range check on the center fielder, what will that be? It will be a single, but that's a single 2 stars, so he's going to single, It's a single plus. And that will score both Tavares and Parker, as Stargell is a 1 out. He drives in 2, and that will bring Bill Robinson to the plate, with Pittsburgh now leading 2-0 with 1 out here in the top of the first. That will bring Robinson to the plate. Ruthven will deal. That's going to be an in play for Robinson, 0-3, an in play 0-3, and that will be a double from Robinson. It's an opposite field shot, so he hit it into right field, and it's going to score all runners, so Stargell will score from first. So that would be a D plus. And Stargell will score, as Robinson's standing on second with just 1 out, and Pittsburgh leading 3-0 as Rennie Stennett comes to the plate. Batting .234 with no home runs, no power in his bat. And that is a tough 38 for Rennie Stennett. And he will single. He will hit a looper, blooped it into right field. And that will move Robinson over to third. That was 1 out. We have runners on the corner. Big inning so far for the Pittsburgh Pirates, as your catcher, Ed Ott, comes to the plate. Batted .276 in 79 with a handful of home runs, 4, as Ruthven looks to try to get out of this inning. It's a patient 0-7, and Ed Ott gets a free pass as he walks him. We have runners again on the corner as Phil Garner comes to the plate. Garner on the season, the 79 season, batted .305 with 6 home runs, as Ruthven looks to pitch himself out of this spot. It's an in play 71, as it's grounded to second. Can they swing the double play? It's going to be tough. They cannot, as Garner's double play is a 5. They cannot get under it. So let me be sure he's hit it to short. 6-3 put out. But that will make the score now 4-0, as Robinson scores from third. Now that will bring up pitcher John Candelaria, who's hitting off pitcher hitting card number 5, as Ruthven looks to close out this inning to stop the bleeding, as they are down 4-0 here in the first. It's going to be a tough 69, and he does get him to ground the ball to second. Manny Trillo up with it for the 4-3 put out, and that will end that inning mercifully for the Phillies, as they are now down 4-0 in the inning. It was 5 hits with 4 runs, as it was a big inning to lead off for the visiting Pittsburgh Pirates, as Lonnie Smith comes to the plate for the home-standing Philadelphia Phillies. Smith on the season batted .429 against righties. He only had 30 plate appearances for Philadelphia. I suspect he may have been traded sometime in the season. I'm not sure of that, but Here comes the delivery to Smith. It's an in play, 15, and he leads off, hitting the ball well as he drives it down the right field line for a double as he's in with a leadoff double. And Lonnie Smith is standing on second base as Larry Boa comes to the plate. Both teams hitting the ball well. Lights must be bright here in Philly. It's going to be a patient 77. That will be a fly ball to center field. It is a short fly ball. It will not move Smith as he cannot move on the fly ball. As Pete Rose comes to the plate. Rose on the season batted .333 with 3 home runs against Candelaria's a lefty, against lefties he batted .327. Not much difference. Candelaria will deliver. It's an in-play 90. That's going to be a fly ball to right field. And with Smith, what is his run? Look at him. His run is an 8. That will move him over. Now I got to remove Smith over. How am I doing? How am I going to do that? All right. That's big detail. Right field. Second base. Yeah, there we go. Got it right now. So Rose sacrifices Smith over to third as Lazinski comes to the plate. 2 outs, runner on third. It's going to be a tough 27. He strikes him out as Lazinski is sent back to the dugout. So after 1, we have the Pirates up 4-0 after 1. As we go to the second, Frank Taveras coming to the plate. Ruthven delivers. This is going to be a wheelhouse for Taveras. Wheelhouse 34, and that will be a single for Taveras as he leads off with a long single into the gap in center field. As Taveras comes up again in the second with a hit. That'll bring Omar Marino up with Taveras again. I'm still not going to attempt it. He can, but I'm not. Taveras on first, Marino up. Here's the pitch. It is a tough 0-4, and he strikes him out. as Marino goes back to the dugout. Runner on first. That brings Dave Parker to the plate. And here is the pitch. It's an in-play 32 for Dave Parker. That will be a single for Parker. He lines it into center field. That'll be a single plus as Taveras will move over to third. So again, Ruthven is now pitching off the B column as Stargell comes up, as they've been roughing Ruthven up. Stargell up to the plate. Do I pull him yet, though? Hello, Sports Time Machine. I'm making my own pitching and batting changes. I'm actually using the PC replay as the engine and using Payoff Pitch as the game I am playing. So I'm trying to play it fairly with both teams. I'm using the automatic stills and the automatic in the Payoff Pitch system to do that, and then I'll decide if I want to move it. Say with Taveras, I could have ran him, but I know that Boone has a 2-arm, and he only has a fair chance to steal the base, so I didn't choose to steal. I would do the same thing for Philly. I'm not that ingrained with Pittsburgh to, I think, be swayed either way. But what say you guys? Ruthven is already pitching off. He's and why am I saying that? That's the PC replay system. He won't be fatigued with Payoff Pitch until he gets 6 runners on. So ignore what I was saying there. I'm getting the two systems twisted. So Willie Stargell to the plate with 2 runners on the corners, and here is the pitch. And it is a wheelhouse for Pop Stargell. This is going sideways quickly for Dick Ruthven as he's lofted up a softball pitch, and Willie Stargell has deposited it in the cheap seats as he's hit a home run and sent this one into orbit. And all of a sudden, this is Ruthven will have to be pulled now as he's allowed 8 runs, and this one is getting ugly quickly. So who to bring in? So I've got coming up righties, mostly righties. So we'll bring in a righty. Who to bring in this early? And I'm sure they were not wanting to see this. I got to bring in a long reliever. Righty. The other thing you have to have is let's bring in Ron Reed. Is the right players to match up with both systems. Ron Reed will come in as Ruthven has been roughed up. So in the pitch, Ron Reed coming in here in the bottom of the second, down 8-0 as Bill Robinson as Rennie Stennett steps to the plate. Yeah, I had the wrong card. I was reading Stargill's card again. It was supposed to be Robinson, but it did not matter, as Robinson's wheelhouse would have been a home run as well. That was a home run for Robinson and not Stargill. You know, I haven't really noticed. I think it's pretty random, and it does a pretty good job of being random in the rolling. So I'm pretty happy with it, and it just it gives a visual for those that I'm streaming to. The problem is right now is I need to get me a good webcam where I can get. I would really like to roll my own dice myself, and but I just don't have a good camera that gives a good view of it, so that those of you that are watching would be able to see it well. So I've chose to go this way. Rennie Stennett to the plate as Reed looks to stop the bleeding. That's a patient 56 for Rennie Stennett as he flies it into left field. A deep fly ball, but Lonnie Smith back underneath it for the out. For out number 2 here in the inning as Ed Ott steps to the plate. Here's the pitch from Reed. That's going to be an in play 0-9. And Ed Ott will take that pitch, and he does place it into a sharp liner that drops in the front of Lazinski in left field for a 2-out single. So Ed Ott is on first with Phil Garner coming to the plate. Here's the pitch. It is a tough 21, and he will strike him out to end the inning, but not after Pittsburgh plates 4 more to take an 8-0 lead here going into the bottom of the second inning, as Mike Schmidt will come to the plate for the for the Phillies, who hope to get something going here in the bottom of the second. It's going to be an in play 26 for Schmidt. And if he would have been going against a righty, it would have been an out, but because he's going against a lefty, he has hit one, he has got under one and blooped it into right field for a single. I like the word bloop. I bring Gary Maddox to the plate with Schmidt on first. Schmidt is no threat to steal. He will not get a jump as Candelaria comes to the plate. That's an in play 69. That's grounded to second. Chance for a double play. We will roll for the double play. It is not. That will just be a 4-3 put out. We'll move Schmidt over to second with 1 out, and Manny Trio coming to the plate. Candelaria deals. That's going to be a defensive check. And I can already tell you it's going to be an out either way, but it's going to be a range check on the center fielder. Marino's range. We'll just go ahead and play this out so we can be used to doing it. Marino's range is a B. And 1 to 34, it's a hit. 35 to 99, it's an out. And we have a roll of 86. So that will be a fly out to center field. And it's a short fly, so there will be no advancement. So that will be for the F8. That's 2 outs with Smith still stranded on second as Bob Boone comes to the plate. And that's a wheelhouse for Boone. A wheelhouse 86, though, as he was offered up one that he should have turned on, but instead he tops it and sends it to short. And this will be a 6-3 putout to end the inning. And we go to the top of the third. With Pittsburgh leading 8-0. Bring the pitcher, John Candelaria, to the plate leading off. He will swing away. That's a patient 41 as he grounds it over to first. Rose with the unassisted putout for out number 1. That'll bring Frank Tavares up to the plate, who so far today is 2 for 2 as he steps to the plate. Tavares digging in as Reed delivers. That'll be an in-play 55 for Tavares as he grounds it to second. Trio up with it over to Rose at first for out number 2, as Philly hopes to have an inning where they don't allow a lot of runs as Omar Marino comes to the plate. Here's the pitch from Reed. It's going to be a patient 70. As that is a ground ball to short. Larry Boa up with it over to first to Rose for the 6-3 putout. We have a 3-up, 3-down inning for the Pittsburgh Pirates, sat down without scoring any runs. That'll bring Ron Reed up to the plate facing off against Candelaria. And he will swing away as he's the only one that seems to be preventing any runs coming across. That's an in-play 56. He's hitting off the 5 card as well. An in-play 56 will be a fly ball to right field as Reed lifts it deep into right field, but Parker takes a few steps back for out number 1 as Lonnie Smith comes to the plate. Candelaria delivers. That will be a tough 48. And he strikes out Lonnie Smith as he sits him down. And Larry Boa steps to the plate with 2 outs, with Philly trailing 8-0. Candelaria to the plate. That's a ballpark. It's a ballpark 07. That will be a wheelhouse for Boa. That's one of the things I meant to do. Let me put that up there for you guys. There's the ballpark. Sorry, I didn't have that up earlier. All right. So that'd be a wheelhouse for Boa. Against left-handed pitching, he has a 227 chance. I don't know. The 85, he's going to lift it. Excuse me. He's going to ground it to second. Stint it over to Stargell for the 4-3 putout. And that will end the inning. as we go to the fourth with Pittsburgh up 8-0. Ron Reed still pitching, and we can get one more inning after this one out of Reed, and he will have to sit down. No, actually, this is the last inning we'll be able to get out of Ron Reed. As Dave Parker steps to the plate, I can get 3 innings out of a long reliever, but I have to count him coming in on the second. So he's going to be second, third, and fourth innings he can pitch. So Reed delivers. It's going to be a tough 42 to Dave Parker. And Parker is sat down. He strikes him out. As Reed has come in and pitched well. As Willie Stargell steps to the plate. Reed delivers. It's going to be a tough 47 for Pop Stargell. And he will strike him out. That's 2 strikeouts in a row for Reed as he's closing out this inning. Bill Robinson to the plate. That's an in play, 44 for Robinson. And he pops it up too short. Larry Boa settling underneath it for out number 3. And we go to the bottom of the fourth with Pittsburgh still leading 8-0. Stepping to the plate for the Phillies, Pete Rose, Charlie Hustle, as the pitch is delivered by Candelaria. It's going to be an in-play 34 for Pete Rose. And that is just outside of his in-play range of 33. As he pops it up to short, as Tavares settles under it easily for the P6 putout. That'll bring Greg Luzinski to the plate. Luzinski on the season batted .259, or excuse me, .226 against lefties with 5 home runs. Pitch from Candelaria is an in-play 52. And that will be a ground ball to third. Phil Garner up with it over to first for the 5-3 putout as Stargell squeezes it. They get Luzinski by a couple steps as Mike Smith comes to the plate, trying to get something going. But so far, Candelaria is pitching well. Smith steps to the plate. It's going to be an in-play 61 as Schmidt grounds it to second, stinted up with it over to Stargell for the 4-3 putout, and we go to the fifth with Pittsburgh is still up, and we had to bring in a pitcher for Reed as we pinch hitted for him. None of them look good. Who can I bring in? Because I've already went through 2 pitchers. Oh boy. Decisions. Let's bring in Raleigh Eastwick as we see our 3rd pitcher now for the Phillies, and we're just into the 5th inning. as that'll bring Rennie Stennett to the plate for the Pirates. Eastwick delivers. It'll be a tough 91. That will be a fly ball into left field. And it is a short fly ball as Lozinski has to get on his bicycle to come in and get it. But he settles underneath it for the F7 putout. That'll bring Ed Ott to the plate. Eastwick deals to the lefty Ott. It is a tough 47 for Ott. And Ott takes that one, and he hits it well as he gets some bat on ball on that hanging curveball, and he drives a deep drive off the wall in right field for a one-out double, and Ed Ott is on second with Phil Garner coming up. So Eastwick deals to Garner. This will be a tough 93. He flies it into left field. And because it is a tough, there will be no runner advancement. This is another put out in left field for Lozinski as Candelaria comes to the plate. And he is pitching well, so he will hit. That's an in-play 75. And he flies it into center field. Gary Maddox takes a few steps in, and we go to the sixth. It's Candelaria still pitching well. We go to the bottom of the fifth, excuse me. Get my innings right. Candelaria to the plate. To the rubber. Gary Maddox to the plate. Maddox hoping to lead off well. It's a tough 32. And he strikes him out. So far in the game, that'd be the third strikeout for Candelaria. Manny Trio to the plate. And it is a wheelhouse for Maddox with left-handed pitching. That will be a single from Maddox as he hits a sharp liner that drops in front of Robinson in left field. So with one out, Trio is on first. He will not be stealing. He's not a good runner. There's a steal of D and a run of 5. So we'll leave him there as Bob Boone comes to the plate. Boone on the season batted .342 against left-handed pitching in 114 at-bats against lefties. So he likes left pitching. It's a patient 22, and he will walk him as we now have runners on first and second with one out. As Raleigh Eastwick will come to the plate. I believe in this situation, let's try to bunt. And what is my bunt rule? Let me look at that. Bunt rating and bunt chart. I don't have everything with me. I just got to find my bunt chart. There it is. So, Eastwick, his bunt rating is a D. All right. All right, we'll roll it. And it's an 05 on the D. He pops it up. He tried to lay down the bunt, and he popped it up to the catcher. That is not good. That's not a good job of trying to move somebody over, Raleigh. That'll bring Lonnie Smith to the plate with 2 outs and runners on first and second. Candelaria looking to pitch himself out of a jam. That's going to be a wheelhouse for Lonnie Smith, but it's a wheelhouse 20, and Smith's wheelhouse only goes to a 12 as he popped it up to third base as he was offered one, and he got under it and pops it up to the third baseman to end that rally for the Phillies, as they could not do anything with the opportunity they had. As we go to the 6th, this game's still a shutout and a blowout so far, as Pittsburgh's up 8-0. Here comes the pitch from Eastwood. It's an in-play 59 for Tavares. And he will ground it to second. Manny Trio up with it. Over to first to Rose for out number 1. As Omar Marino steps to the plate. Raleigh Eastwood pitching well. And this would be a wheelhouse 25 for Omar Marino against a righty. And that will be a single that he hits sharply. Opposite field liner as he hits it into left field for a 1-out single as Marino's, and that roll of 12 will easily not give him a jump as Dave Parker steps to the plate. There will be no automatic steal for him. It's going to be an in-play 86 from Parker, who grounds it to second. Double play opportunity. And it will be a double play. Well, no, it will not. Dave Parker does not hit into double plays easily. He's a 5, and the 7 will not be underneath his rating. So it will just be a, will just be a 4-3 put out as Marino will move over to second. Willie Stargell will come to the plate as Raleigh Eastwood looks to throw another scoreless inning. It'll be a tough 51 on Stargell, and he strikes him out as we go to the bottom of the 6th, with Pittsburgh still leading 8-0. It'll be one more inning for Eastwick. As Larry Boas steps to the plate for the Phillies, who are trailing 8-0. Candelaria still pitching well. That's an in-play 11. That will be A ball blooped into right field for a leadoff single for Larry Boa. And there will be no automatic, there will be no steal from Boa as Pete Rose comes to the plate. Rose looking to move Boa around to get some runs on the board. It's going to be a ballpark 74. Rose hitting from the right side of the plate. It will be an in play either way. And it's an in play 21 for Rose against a lefty. He will single. And it's a long single in the gap in center field. But they will only advance Boa one base. But with no outs, we have runners on first and second as the Phillies are looking to get something going here in the bottom of the sixth as Greg Luzinski comes to the plate with runners on first and second. Candelaria looking to pitch himself out of this jam. It's an in play 19 for Luzinski. And he is going to get a single, a soft blooper into short right field. That's going to score Boa. And the Phillies are finally on the board as Mike Smits comes to the plate with no outs and still runners on first and second. The game now 8-1. Candelaria deals. It's a tough 65. Smith, that will be a ground ball to second. And that will be a 4-3 put out. That will allow Rose and Luzinski to move forward as Gary Maddox comes to the plate with one out. Runners on second and third. Candelaria will pitch, continue to pitch. That's an in play 76. There'll be a fly ball into center field. Let's see, Rose run rating of 6. And looked at my fly out chart. And it is a short fly. And that will hold the runners. No one moves. As Manny Trio comes to the plate, 2 outs, runners on second and third. Looking to get more runners across the plate. Candelaria looking just to get out of this situation, but he has pitched a ballpark against a right-handed batter. That will be an in play to Manny Trio. An in play to Manny Trio an 0-8. That's going to be a double as Trio will plate 2 more runs. It's off the left field wall. And Luzinski and Rose both will score. And this game now is 8-3 as Bob Boone comes to the plate. That's going to be an in play 33 for Bob Boone. And that will be a ground ball hit to Garner at third as he fires over to Stargell at first to end the inning. But 3 runs did come across in the bottom of the 6th to now make this, as we go into the 7th, an 8-3 ball game, as this will be Raleigh Eastwick's last inning to pitch as Bill Robinson comes to the plate. Robinson digging in, Eastwick to deliver. That is a ballpark 18. So that will be a wheelhouse for Robinson. It's a wheelhouse 42 as he leads off with a double as he hits a liner into left center that is cut off by the left fielder, but he leads off with a double as Robinson is on second. Rennie Stennett comes to the plate. Eastwick delivers. That is a tough 87. That's a ground ball to the shortstop that will hold Robinson with the ground ball too short. And we have 1 out. Robinson on second with Ed Ott coming to the plate. And Eastwick delivers. That's going to be a patient 41 for Ed Ott. And Ed Ott takes that pitch and he line drives it into center field. And he will move Robinson over to third. So with 1 out, we have runners on the corner for Phil Garner, who steps to the plate. Eastwick delivers. Again, this is a ballpark check. Again, it'll be a wheelhouse check for Phil Garner. And it's a wheelhouse 15. And Phil Garner has taken this offering, this little grapefruit, and he's made fruit salad out of it as Garner takes it into the seats. Home run, Phil Garner, as this game is now 11-3, as he brings across himself and 2 others. And John Candelaria can step to the plate with a lot of confidence here as he comes to the plate here in the top of the 7th. It's an in-play 53. As he flies it into right field, Lonnie Smith comes underneath it for out number 2 here in the 7th. As Frank Tavares comes to the plate. Eastwick delivers. It's a tough 45. And again, it's a fly ball into right field for out number 3 as Smith squeezes it for out number 3. And we go to the bottom of the 7th with Pittsburgh leading 11-3, and Raleigh Eastwick will be done for the day as we bring in a pinch hitter for Eastwick. And I get all lefties but 1. That's interesting. Got a bullpen. I mean, pinch hitters that everyone is a lefty. It's not the best thing to have, I don't guess. Let's see who I put in. I might as well go with the one who's had the most at-bats, and that will be Bake McBride. What a name, Bake. Not a bad name. If I can find his card. Here we are, Bake McBride on the season. On the season against lefties, McBride batted .355 with 2 home runs. So McBride will come in. As the Phillies are hoping to get something going here in the bottom of the 7th. It's going to be an in-play 56 for Bake McBride as he lifts one into left field. Short fly ball. Bill Robinson moving underneath it for out number 1. The F7 put out for out number 1. As now Lonnie Smith comes back to the plate. Candelaria with an in-play 0-3 to Smith. And he will take that offering from Candelaria and hit an opposite field shot off the right field wall as Dave Parker hurries to it, but not before Lonnie Smith is standing up on second. As with 1 out, we have a runner on second. Larry Boa coming to the plate. Candelaria with the pitch. It is a ballpark check. It is a ballpark 82. And that's going to be a in-play for Boa. An in-play 80 for Boa. Will be a ground ball to second. That will move Smith. Smith's got good speed. That's going to move Smith over to third, but with a 4-3 put out. Smith stands on third with Pete Rose coming to the bat, hoping to get some runs across to try to make this game interesting. So far, not so much. It's a tough 76 as he hits a fly ball into center field. Omar Marino back to the warning track, but he squeezes it for out number 3 as we go to the 8th with Pittsburgh up 11-3, and I've got to bring in a new pitcher. Yeah, another one. This time we will bring in Tug McGraw. I look to find his card. McGraw comes in. Went deep into the bullpen. Now, the bullpen actually did well until Garner deposited that home run in the last inning. But McGraw will come to the plate, facing off against Omar Marino. McGraw delivers, and it will be a ballpark check, a ballpark 49. That is going to be a wheelhouse for Marino, a wheelhouse for Marino against a left-hander. That will be a single, which he hit a line drive into center field. He leads off with a single as Marino is on first. And with with the lead they have, there will be no stealing bases. As Marino is sitting on first, Dave Parker to the plate. McGraw will deliver. And we have our first rare event check, or whatever we call it here. I think I'm a rare event play, rare event check. I am throwing Glory Days Boxing in with this. Where's my chart for that? Here we go. With a runner on, and with the roll of 7, re-roll 2d10 and check ballpark. Okay, that is a wheelhouse. If the result is in wheelhouse range, re-roll dice and check batter's wheelhouse section. This is not good news. And the rare event is that Dave Parker has taken the offering by Tug McGraw and he has placed it high into the deck here in Veterans Stadium, as it is another home run hit by the Pittsburgh Pirates, as the game now goes to 13-3 as Willie Stargell steps to the plate. And this has been an old-fashioned massacre as the Pirates are bludgeoning the Phillies. Stargell steps to the plate. It's going to be a patient 96 as he lifts one into right field. Lonnie Smith settles underneath it for the first out here in the 8th. And Bill Robinson coming to the plate. Tug McGraw looking to try to close out this inning with no more damage. Robinson, it's going to be a tough 52. And he strikes him out for out number 2 here in the top of the 8th. Brings Rennie Stennett to the plate with a tough 87. He grounds it to short. Larry Boa up with it over to first. And we're out of the inning, but not after the Pirates put 2 more across, as they've plated 13 with 17 hits here in this game. That'll bring Greg Luzinski to the plate. Candelaria looking to close out this game. This is a tough 20 for Luzinski. He strikes him out. That'll bring Mike Smith to the plate, as Candelaria is getting into deep waters now. In the 8th, he is fatigued. So I need to bring out his fatigue card. I want to finish him out. Let's figure out what that card is. Give me a second. He is .22. How many strikeouts per inning? 8.7. Here we go. There's this card. So this will get a little more interesting. Smith comes to the plate. That is a patient 47 for Mike Smith. And he will walk him. So we'll put Smith on with one out. And Gary Maddox coming to the plate. Here's the pitch. That's an in play, 49 for Gary Maddox. He grounds it to third. Could that be a double play? And it is, as he hits in to the 5-4-3 double play to kill any hopes of plating any runs. That's 3, and that's exactly what Candelaria wanted to see. As we go to the top of the 9th, Pittsburgh up 13-3. As Ed Ott comes to the plate, McGraw will look to close it out. It's a patient 18 for Ed Ott. Against a lefty, he walks him. He gets the free pass. As Ed Ott trots down to first. Phil Garner will come to the plate. Here's the pitch. It's an in play, 48 for Garner. He pops it up to short. He got up underneath it, pops it up to short for the first out. Zott stands on first. That will bring Candelaria to the plate. We'll keep him in. He's earned the right to finish this game out, but he will swing away. That's an in play, 62. And he grounds it to second. And the 11 is outside of the double play, so he'll move Ott over to second. As Taveras comes to the plate with 2 outs. And Pittsburgh leading 13-3. McGraw toes the rubber. He delivers. It's going to be a wheelhouse for Taveras. A wheelhouse 37 against a lefty. Will not get it done as he lifts it into right field. Lonnie Smith settling underneath it. And that will be it in the 9th for the Pirates. But they go into the bottom of the 9th with a comfortable, beyond comfortable 13-3 lead as Manny Trio comes to the plate, and Candelaria looking to finish out this game. Here's the pitch. It is a patient. We've got another rare bit, another 0-0 with no one on the base. Pitcher looks uncomfortable after last pitch. Check for injury. Injuries. Yeah, I don't want to do that. But if I'm going to play the game, better play the game. I just have never done this, so I haven't checked on how to do it. Injury. See, what is his rating? Candelaria, injury, normal. So I just roll the percentile die. It's a 76. He's normal. He's injured remainder of the game plus 5 games. Oh boy. All right, so Candelaria has to come out. Unfortunately, he cannot finish. So we'll bring in a new pitcher. Let's bring in Jacoby. Kent Jacoby will come in. And what do you know? Another guy named Kent. I don't come across too many. So Jacoby will come in for the injured Candelaria. Manny Trio still at the plate. Here's the pitch. It's an in play, 72 for Manny Trio. That will be a fly ball into center field. Omar Marino settles underneath it for out number one here in the bottom of the ninth, with the Phillies desperate for runs as they're down 10. Here comes the pitch. It's an in play, 14 for Bob Boone. As he hits it well. It's a soft blooper that falls in front of Dave Parker in right field. So Boone is on with a single, as we'll bring in a pinch hitter for McGraw. Who can we bring in? Oh, that's not what I wanted. I wanted McGraw. Let's bring in, who can we bring in? Let's bring in Greg Gross. Greg Gross will come in hoping to spark his team, who needs a huge rally. They got the rally caps on, but I believe it's futile. It's a patient 81 for Greg Gross. And that will be a ground ball to second base. And no chance for a double play, as it will be a 4-3 put out. We'll move Boone over to second. But we have two outs with a 10-run deficit. And Lonnie Smith coming to the plate. Here's the pitch. It will be a defensive check. The defense 0-4. It will be a problem. It's a range check in left field with Robinson in left field. Let's take a look at his range. His range is a C. It would be 1 to 44. It's going to be a hit, and the roll is a 4. I just did that for my own humor. So it is a hit. It is a sharp liner, and the runner on second will score. So it will be a single plus, and Boone will come across to make it now 13-4 with two outs. Larry Boa coming to the plate with Smith on first. Here's the pitch from Jacoby. It is a tough 65, and that is going to do it, folks, as he grounds it to short. Tavares up with it over to first to Stargell for the 6-3 put out. And that is our game, folks. It was not a good one. It was not close at all. As you see, the 13-4 final to this game, the 17 hits. Neither team with any errors in the game, but it got ugly quick. It was 8-0 after the first two innings. As you see in your box score, just hit after hit. It's seen for, although they only had a 278 average for the game, they with runners in scoring position, they were 7 for 14. So when they had runners on, they were putting them across, while Philly was 3 for 15. They blew up Dick Ruthven early. He didn't even make it. He only pitched an inning in a third. He allowed 9 hits and 8 runs with that 54 ERAs. Doesn't look good. Candelaria pitched well. Went 8 innings, allowing 3 runs, 3 earned. So it got ugly quick. And Bill Robinson for the Pirates was your MVP. Let's take a look at Robinson's line. Robinson, he was 3 for 5, bringing 3 runs and 4 RBIs. Great game for him. So that is our game for today in the season for the Phillies. That moves them to 3-1 on the season with this 13-4 bludgeoning of the Philadelphia Phillies. John Candelaria getting the win, and that will close out that game. Let's finish out our day. San Diego against San Francisco. Let's autoplay that one. San Diego took that one 7-6. And then Chicago Cubs at the Cardinals. Both of them 0-2 for the season. St. Louis will go to 1-2 while the Cubs fall to 0-3. Let's take a look at the standings. So far in this young season, you have Detroit sitting on top of the East, with Baltimore just slightly back, if not really actually back, because their games played. Pittsburgh sits on top in the National League East. In American League West, Minnesota is on top with a 4-0 start to the season. And the Los Angeles Dodgers are 5-1 and are on top of the West. So that is where we are so far in this young season, in this replay of the 79 season. I hope you enjoyed it. That will be all from Three Rivers Stadium not Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia, excuse me for that. I'm sure there's some people that wouldn't appreciate that, Philly fans. But I hope you have a great day. I hope you enjoyed the game. It was not much of a game, but hey, that's the way the dice rolls, and that's the way the ball flies.